Hello and welcome to the 2019-2020 Employee Benefits webinar for Pharmacare Services. Thanks for joining us today. Over the next about 15 minutes, we're going to be walking through all of these different coverages that you see listed here. But before we do, check out these bullet points on the bottom of page 1 here. In general, what you pick sticks for 1 year, meaning you can't change it unless you have one of these things going on during the middle of the year, in which case you can change your election. Now, we're going to spend the most of our time talking about the medical piece. It's the biggest spend, and it's also the most complicated. You have 2 different plans, but 4 different choices. The first plan is a health savings account plan, an HSA plan. HDHP stands for high deductible health plan because you'll see the deductible is high on both of these plans. They are the exact same price with one exception. The plan here on the left, plan number 1, has no out-of-network benefits. The plan on the right does have out-of-network benefits. So when you go to see your pricing on plan 1 versus plan 2, you're going to see a less expensive option and a more expensive option. They both work the exact same way. I actually have an HSA for myself and my family. That means when I get a prescription, I'm paying the discounted cost of that prescription. I'm not paying a copay. When I go to the doctor, I'm paying a discounted cost for going to the doctor, but I'm not paying a copay on going to the doctor either. So everything tracks towards this number and this out-of-pocket maximum on an HSA account. That's the way that they all work. Now, I'll probably flip back to page 2, but I want to explain a little more on, let's see what page this is, page 3. Okay, again, this is your second plan design option. You have 2 options, but 4 choices. This is a copay plan. The reason why we're going to call these copay plans is because you have copays when you go to the doctor. You have copays when you get prescriptions. So both of these options cost a little more than the HSA option. But plan 3 is a little less expensive because it does not have out-of-network benefits. Plan 4 is a little more expensive because it does have out-of-network benefits. Now, we have United Healthcare. They are one of, if not the largest, excuse me, insurance company in the United States. So we've got a lot of clients. I'm in the brokerage business. This has been, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm in the brokerage business, so we have a lot of clients that are all over the United States that have this type of plan. We really have not run into very many problems with it. If you're in an emergency situation, it's required to be covered as in-network. So we're talking about scheduled back surgeries, scheduled knee surgeries, things like that, where you'd have to be real mindful of, am I in or out of the network? In general, anyways, you want to stay in the network because the pricing is better. So I'm going to go to the costs here. Plan 1 is the no out-of-network HSA. Everything applies to that deductible, to that out-of-pocket max on plan 1. Plan 2 does have out-of-network benefits. That also is an HSA style account. Plan 3 is one of the copay plans. So you've got copays when you go to the doctor or get a prescription. Plan 4 has in and out of network benefits, and it has copays as well. Couple of reminders, freestanding emergency rooms are popping up all over the country. That is an emergency room, but outside of a hospital. So if you think you're going to an urgent care provider because it looks like kind of a doc in the box, just make absolutely sure that you're going to an urgent care provider versus a freestanding ER. Here's some more information about the plans themselves. You can organize your claims, get more information. You register here at myallsaversconnect.com. Customer representative number is here. Healthiest You is a virtual care visit. So my 2 examples for that, first time I ever used virtual care, I had seasonal allergies. I just needed a simple Z-Pack, called the doc on the phone, took me 15 minutes, bam, got the prescription sent to my closest pharmacy, and I got my script. My second example here is when I used it on my third kid. She had pink eye. I knew that because my second kid also had pink eye. So I called the doctor over the phone. That again took me about 15 minutes. And then they sent in a prescription. And I'm going to scroll back to the benefits. Even if you're on the HSA plan, you remember I said they didn't have copays, except if you use virtual care. So it's free. Virtual visits are free here too. Great, really convenient way for simple medical stuff. Scroll back through here. We'll leave you with this printed information as well. You can review that at your leisure. More information on Healthiest You, especially if you're in one of the HSA style plans. Motion is a way where you can track some activities and earn up to $1,000 a year. More information is on myallsaversconnect.com. More questions here. We won't go over that in detail just for the sake of time. This is online Jenny Craig meets health coaching. It's called Real Appeal. We actually have a fair amount of people that have been interested and well served by these programs. Page 11 has more information on that. Now, page 12, this is that HSA account. If you're on Plan 3 or Plan 4, you do not have an HSA account. If you're on Plan 1 or Plan 2, you do have an HSA account. Pharmacare, because they're generous, puts in money into that bank account. That's a bank account in your name. It rolls over. If you leave employment with Pharmacare, you take it. You can also set aside your own money pre-tax into that account. Medcom is a customer service vendor that we have here at Pharmacare where you can track where your claims are just on your phone. So make sure and check that out. Let's talk about your teeth. The carrier is a carrier called Principal. Let me give you an example of how this works. If you go in for your preventative services, that's your twice-a-year teeth cleaning and x-rays. Let's say you have a cavity and the cavity costs $200. 200 minus 50, that's your deductible. $200 bill minus $50 is a $150 bill. Cavity would be a basic service, so it's 20%. That means you're paying 20% of $150, which is $30. And the insurance company is paying 80% of a $150 bill. That's $120, and that $120 posts against the $2,000 annual maximum. Now, if you have one spouse and 3 kids, then it's $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. It's $2,000 per year per person. Vision is also with Principal. The thing that confuses most people on vision is this area right here. Once every, once every, once every. Here's what that means. You can't get glasses and contacts paid for by the insurance company at the exact same time. So you're going to choose either lenses and frames. Frame allowances here. Lenses are here. But if you're really blind like me, it's not going to be a $10 copay. It just depends on how bad your vision is, really. Or like what happened with me the other day, I went to the eye doctor and I used my insurance. My contacts cost $200 for a 12-month supply of contacts. So it was 200 minus 130. I paid 70. If your contacts are cheaper, then it might fit in that total allowance. If you're on the HSA plan, you can put extra money onto your HSA and use it at the eye doctor or at the dentist or at the medical doctor. Basic life insurance, this is free to you. 1 times your annual salary up to a $50,000 max. When you go online to register, we'll absolutely want you to pick a beneficiary. That's where the proceeds of the life insurance go if, God forbid, you're no longer living. This is a busy page. Here's what it means. If you're a new hire, then you get $100,000. This is paid for by you, but you get $100,000 with no medical questions asked. 1 time only. That's the way all insurance carriers do it. If you are not a new hire, then you can still get more life insurance. You just have to apply for it. It's called evidence of insurability. You'll be able to move a button online to be able to see if the cost is worth it to you. These pages detail different age brackets and cost amounts, or excuse me, coverage amounts. We won't go through that for the sake of time because you've got it in the printed materials and you'll also have it online. Here's what I love about this page. Pharmacare pays for long-term disability and you don't have to. Long-term disability is paycheck protection. If God forbid you are living, but you cannot come back to work in any capacity, then you've got a portion of your paycheck that I'm highlighting here protected via an insurance policy. That's why we call it insurance on your paycheck. 60% of pre-disability earnings, and it is protected until your Social Security normal retirement age. So this is your sleep at night factor. Never ever want you to have to use this, of course, but it is there if, God forbid, the worst happens. The decision that you do have to make, excuse me, is if you want protection on your paycheck for a short period of time. After 15 days following injury or illness, up to 60% of your pre-disability weekly earnings are protected up to $1,500 a week for 11 weeks. You can do a little bit of math there, or you can move a button online. EAP is Employee Assistance Program. It's free to you. You just got to remember that it's there. MagellanHealth.com/member is the website. This is great for online will prep and telephonic counseling and referral services. So make sure and check that out. Travel Assist, this one is always so funny to me because I'm not sure that you would remember your insurance carrier if you had lost luggage more than 100 miles away or you had passport trouble, but it's there if you need it. You just got to remember that it's there. These next couple of pages detail what the EAP does for you and gives you some more numbers to be able to call in case you need it. So there's some more information here for your review on the EAP and on Travel Assist. Section 125, Cafeteria Plan. This is a flexible spending account. So if you're on the copay plan, then you can set aside up to $2,700 into a flexible spending account. If you're on an HSA plan, you are not eligible. If you are on the copay plan, then you can use your FSA to set aside pre-tax money. But the flexible spending account has a use it or lose it rule. If you don't spend the money, then it goes away. So we always want to make sure to remember this is for planned expenses, not unplanned expenses. It's not a savings vehicle. The rest of the information, great late night reading material. Required notices, we'll scroll through. You can take a look at those at your leisure. So I'm scrolling fast here. Then we'll get to the Q&A page. You'll enroll via a website called Employee Navigator. It'll have y'all's name on it. Got a little more information on that. Tanya is the fabulous HR director. Sandra is the fabulous dedicated account manager to Pharmacare Services. She's in our San Antonio office. This is more information about Employee Navigator. It's really pretty simple. If you follow the steps, you'll be able to get in. Hardest thing is just logging in and then getting your password and then resetting it. So if you just follow step 1, step 2, step 3, through the rest of the steps, it'll be able to take you right through. This is a great glossary of terms. If you get bored or you get, you're on a date with your spouse or your significant other and you're running out of conversation, just memorize this page and you can ask whoever you're sitting across the table with, hey, did you know a copayment is a fixed amount you pay for covered services, usually when you receive the service? The amount can vary by type of covered service. And they'll go, that's fascinating. Tell me more. Got some notes pages and then some happy running people with a dog at the end. Thanks, y'all, for joining us, and appreciate the time.